Good morning, everyone. So, here is Mencius, a great Chinese philosopher and Confucius successor, once proclaimed that human is naturally righteous and humane. This concept had an enormous influence on many generations. So, today, I'm here, standing before each of you, and explore two timeless questions. Number one, does innocence prevail in the middle of life's difficulties? Question number two, can it withstand with challenges or complexities? Certainly, with the development of science and technology, we have up to 200 million results defining innocence. But what exactly does this number say to us? Do all these results have at least one similar definition of innocence? In the process, this expression is believed to signify the absence of wrongdoing and a state of natural purity, the perfect purity. But does the idea of innocence only end with the absence of evil? Whether it can be Christian or Buddhism, kindness, innocence always exists and fights against evil. Childhood fairy tales frequently end with excellence or victory in the power of innocence and friendship, right? But life isn't like a fairy tale. Wars continue to outrage, and daily news reports highlight cases of corruption, mishaps, and unpleasant events that are exploding on social media and mainstream media. Humans nowadays are driven to become more mature and more suspicious, to adapt and to protect themselves. However, with a strong belief placed in me through my ancestral traditions and a great manner of life in my family, I believe that life may have its shares of negativity, but it is never entirely negative. To me, innocence is not only a state of naivety, it is a choice we make in the presence of hard factors in our society. Let me make it more specific. Innocence is a conscious choice we make when we deal with difficult situations, conflicts, or negative feelings. In such situations, we choose to recognize and keep faith in humanity's inherent goodness, focus on the positive element, obviously. Oh, this is not about denying, rejecting, or avoiding the acceptance of hard factors or negative feelings. Instead, it is a decision to understand and to embrace our purity in the face of hard factors that surrounding us at the moment. Humans are full of flaws, and each of us is an individual with our shortcomings. And in this regard, I have my drawing of a person who inspired me a lot, Mahatma Gandhi. He showed his preservation of innocence through his life journey for Indian independence. He is well known for his non-violence philosophy, ahimsa, with some principles such as 1. Non-harm. 2. Self-awareness and self-governance. 3. Love and forgiveness. The next one is patience and restraint. Lastly, avoidance of conflict. We can see that despite the terrible violence by the British colonialism, which resulted in thousands of fatalities and serious injuries. Mahatma Gandhi kept his philosophy throughout his life and fight for India's freedom without violence. And after years of warfare, the British colonial power finally collapsed in 1947 in the face of strong resolve led by Gandhi and India's National Congress, granting ultimately India's independence. As we mentioned before, innocence is a conscious choice for us to make. Help us to recognize and keep faith in humanity's inherent goodness. It was also Mahatma Gandhi's decision, who believed in individual self-awareness and rejected violence. In his philosophy, non-violence is more than just a means of action. It is a way of life and thinking that promotes a spirit of purity and compassion in all relationships and in all connections. It also promotes a pure and loving mindset in all aspects of life. So, that is Mahatma Gandhi's story. Beside that, I know each of us on the journey of growing up had experienced wins, stumbles, whether inadvertently or intentionally, causing harms to each other. There's always one thing we know, that violence takes many, many forms. It can be a sentence, it can be an action, but they are lead to heartbreaking, even losing faith and feeling hopeless about life. Myself, a girl who had always been praised for her optimism and her pleasant demeanor, has always faced a harsh reality that slapped me in my face, sending me to a downward cycle where self-doubt and fear became severe opponents. I still remember, in the winter of 2020, I received the news of my dad passed away. You know, losing a loved one is not only a physical loss, it is a spiritual one. I remember I had withdrawn inside myself, unable to find a place for me to express my true feeling. I started kept my distance from others, always crying in the corner of my room. Life meant nothing to me at that moment, and those feelings have been with me for a long time. However, one day, kind of shockingly, my mom came to me and revealed, "Oh, I dreamed that your father told me he was so upset because his ability to be with you." After hearing what my mom said, I started to realize a fresh thought slowly developed inside my mind at the moment, and a big desire that wanted me to stand up and do something to make yourself feel better and make your dad will no longer be upset. That's why I looked for and chose innocence, not as a means of avoiding the harsh reality, but as a means of positively and strongly facing it. So, rather than focusing on the past and the pain, I chose to look for new opportunities, extracurricular activities, volunteering, some new long-held hobbies, such as reading, baking, writing songs, poems, and so on. My inner being finally found a road out of the darkness. And although the journey of self-healing, both for myself and for others, sometimes feel like a Pandora's box, even if it can be difficult to contain the broken emotions. But in the end, everything that left for me is HOPE. Do you guess what's that word? Hope. I believe that wherever I go, whatever I do, my mom, my family, even my dad up in heavens always watch over me and support me at all costs. So, through Mahatma Gandhi's story and my own journey, what I want to emphasize is that innocence is just a choice. And in conclusion, it is not something we passively lose. It is something we actively reserve, and it's also a choice for us to embrace our purity, even in the hardship times. So, when confronted challenges, remember to let innocence become your source of motivation to hold steadfast to kindness. Unleash the power of innocence. You can allow it to have a chance to illuminate the past to darkest moments, ensuring you and me to never lose faith in ourselves, and granting each of us the power to overcome the obstacles. In the end, everything that I want to remind not only you, but myself is innocence is just a beacon of hope and a catalyst for a positive change. May innocence become your transformative force in your life, just like it was and still is in mine. Thank you for joining me on this exploration.